Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Happy Monday, and welcome to this week's episode of Monday's Coffee and Card. I'm Jana Edwards with StampinInk.com. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Corpus Christi, Texas, and I am so glad that you're here joining me today. I had a little technical difficulties just a few minutes ago, so I will go back after we finish our live, and I'll update the description of this video on YouTube and Facebook so that you guys can have the links to everything that I mentioned today. Like I said, good morning. Again, I'm Jana Edwards. I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Corpus Christi, Texas, and this is Monday Coffee and a Card, where I go live and I feature a product, Stampin' Up! Product every week. And on Mondays, we create a project with that featured product. It could be either a suite or a bundle. Or it could be separate stamp set or dies, standalone stamp set products that Stampin' Up! That we offer through Stampin' Up! And Mondays we create a card, and then I go live again on Thursdays, and we create 3 additional projects. These projects for the week you can get a class kit to go for these projects by placing a $50 order in my online store before Sunday, April the 20th. Yes, Sunday, April the 20th. If you place a $50 order in my online store, I'll send you the class kit for free as a free gift from me. Okay, so there's just a few things that I'd like to go over. If you try to go in today or tomorrow to place a Stampin' Up! Order, the website's going through some changes. We're doing some changes at Stampin' Up! And they are revamping their rewards. So they used to do the old reward system was a hostess based, like if you had a party at your house, you could earn rewards for people coming and participating in your party. You would earn like host rewards. Well, now Stampin' Up! Is transitioning to a new reward system to where everyone everyone earns rewards. So you'll earn Stampin' Rewards with all of your purchases. If your purchase is $20 or more, you start to earn Stampin' Rewards. You at the $20 purchases you earn I think it's 20%. Yes, it's a 20% rewards. So anything over $20, you will earn 20% in Stampin' Rewards. And you can bank those rewards for an entire year. I'm sure that you have some other places where you shop that you earn that you have a reward system. Like for me, for instance, when I purchase my makeup through Ulta, I earn rewards on every dollar that I spend, right? And then you can bank those rewards and spend them any items that you want. Stampin' Up is going to that kind of a reward system, which is fantastic. So if you're interested in that and you're not already a customer of mine, please go to my online store and click the sign in button at the top. You can click create an account and it will create an account with you so that every time you shop, you use that same login and you earn those rewards. If you're currently a customer of mine, you have to go to your account center and opt in for Stampin' Rewards so that you don't miss out on any rewards that you receive or that on any purchases that you make. Okay. So if you place a $50 order this week for this week's class kit to go, you'll earn 20%. If you make your purchases after the 15th of April, you'll earn 20% on that $50 that you can bank to use either the next time that you shop or you just accumulate them and spend them all at the end of the year. You know, maybe you want to give Christmas gifts at the end of the year and you've purchased Stampin' Up products and you have these rewards, then you can use your rewards to purchase your Christmas gifts for your crafty friends at the end of the year. Anyway, it's a great. I think it's going to be a great new reward system. I'm very excited about it. We also have a new catalog that is launching in May. So if you would like to get one of the new catalogs, there's I think it might be on my blog. There's a link on the sidebar on my blog to request a catalog. You just click on that link. It'll take you to a page to fill out a form for me so that I can, so that we can, so that I can send you a catalog. Okay. All right. I'm going to turn down my camera and I'm going to turn down my camera so you can see what we're going to be working on today. Let me go ahead and do that here. Hello. Give me just 1 second, okay? I'm sorry. All right. Sorry about that. We have some family things going on, so I needed to answer that. Thank you for your patience. Okay. Let me get back to where I was over here. All right, this is the card that we're going to be creating today. Super, super cute. This was part of our team projects for, well, it's a couple months ago, I think. But anyway, I love, 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 love this set. It's got a lot of, this card has a lot of detail, but this is what we're going to create today. I'm thinking I might change the frog or just add a single duck. I don't know. We might change it up as we're going along, but this is what we'll be working on today. And we're going to be using the Charming Duck Pond bundle. This bundle is currently on the last chance list. So if it's something that you have been wanting, please go grab it now. It's on, I believe the bundle is $46.50, but if you purchase, I think the stamp and the dies individually, it might be at a bigger discount. So make sure that you look at that. when you're placing your order. So we're going to use this die here. We're going to use the lily pond dies, the lily pad dies, the flowers, and the cattails here. All right. Oops. Why is that? Oh, it's not closing because it moved on me. Okay. We'll get that in a minute. Okay. So when you receive your kit, in your class kit to go, you'll receive envelopes with everything that you need in the envelope to create the projects. The only thing that will not be included is stamped and die cut images that are in the bundle that I'm featuring this week. So if it's you'll receive the strip of cardstock for the sentiment. You will receive the piece of paper to cut out the dies. You'll receive a piece of paper for stamping and die cutting, a piece of paper to cut out all of your die cuts, and then everything else that you need to create the card. Okay, so we're going to start with that. We have a card base. If you're part of my email newsletter email list, you will receive a project sheet for this card. I'll send it out in the morning so that if you would like to sign up for my email newsletter, you'll have time to do that. I'll send it out probably about 10 o'clock tomorrow. So if you would like to have this project sheet for this card, just go ahead and sign up for my email newsletter list. So I have and the measurements should already be on my blog. There should be a blog post out there with basic measurements. So you can go to my blog at stampedinink.com, and the measurements and the details for this card and more details about the class kit to go are on my blog as well. All right, so I won't give measurements. I'll try to if I can remember what they all are, but if not, they're over on my blog, and they will be on the project sheet for my email newsletter subscribers. Okay, so we have a card base. It's a portrait card base that's 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2, and it is we're gonna just burnish our edge. And what I like to do is I'm gonna go ahead and start with the inside of the card. Let me see. Okay, so for the card front, this particular piece of paper, this card, what you want to do is when you have a scene, it's going to be peeking through this frame here. So you want to make sure that you have centered what you want. When you cut it down, this is a 4 1/8 by 5 3/8 piece. We're going to cut this down to 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. So you want to make sure that the center, where you want to cut is in the center of it shows up in the center of where you're die cutting, right? So I'm going to go ahead, let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to cut, instead of starting with the inside, I have 3 3/4 by 5 inch piece of cardstock. I'm going to go ahead and cut this out, okay? I'm going to bring in my Stampin' Cut and Emboss and move my coffee over there so I don't spill it. If you're here watching me today, please say hello. Let me know that you're here watching. I love to know that you're here with me and that you're, joining in with me this morning. So please don't hesitate to say, hey, how are ya? Let me know where you're from. I'm positioning this about maybe an inch from the bottom. You want to leave enough space at the top because you're going to have your sentiment piece is going to go here also. So, just keep that in mind when you cut this out. went to a team event this last week in San Antonio with one of my team members, and I got to see, if you follow her, Deborah Harrison with Simply Sweet in Ink Designs, and I got to see Erica with Pink Buckaroo Designs. It was really nice to get to see everyone. I hadn't seen Deborah in 18 years, and it was really nice to catch up and see them, talk to them a little bit. So we want to make sure that this is right about here, okay? So we're going to cut, I'm never quite sure of my cuts. So this is going to be 4, oops. We're going to cut this at 4 1/4. Or I'm sorry, 4 1/8. I'm going to cut this down to 4. Cut this side off here. All right. Then I'm going to cut this down to 4 1/8. That should give me plenty of room to center this and have that. Okay, so I'm going to cut this down to 4 1/8. And that way, when this is on top, it'll be right about there. All right, so I'm going to cut it down to 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. 1, 2. I'm going to cut this right about here. And then I'm going to cut that little 1/8 of an inch off the bottom. Oops. Nope, I'm going to cut it from the top, because I like the lily pads showing at the bottom. All right. And we're going to take the strip that we cut from the side, the largest strip, and we're going to put that on the inside of the card. The inside of the card is going to layer like this. So I'm going to cut this down to 5 1/4. Because the inside is 5 1/4 by 4. All right. I'm just working off to the side here, cutting. So I'm going to layer this. I'm going to go ahead and grab. I'm going to set this off to the side real quick, and then we're going to finish the inside of the card. All right. So I'm going to take our strip that we had left over and add some adhesive to it. Does anyone else ever have trouble with their Stampin' Seal? When you pull it up, it leaves that string, and then it's hard to when you go to press it down again, that glue is missing from the top, so it's you have to wind your tape to get it back to the top. All right, now I have a piece of, I believe it's 3 3/4 by 5 basic white cardstock. that we are going to add to the front of this piece. We're going to layer it right there in the center, just like this, so that you have a finished card. When we're going to create some lily, we're going to cut out some lily pad flowers here, and when we do that, we'll add a lily pad flower to the inside. All right, so I'm going to set this aside. We're going to set this aside right here. I'm going to do some stamping and some die cutting. All right, I'm going to use the inside of my circle as a scrap piece to do some stamping. I'm going to stamp excuse me, I'm going to stamp the frog and the two little ducks. Actually, I think I'm going to color the inside of this, and we'll cut the lily pads out of that so that I can stamp everything on this one piece of cardstock. Okay, so I'm going to grab my piercing mat for a little bit of cushion. Set this aside. I'm going to grab, let me see, the little froggy, the little ducks, and I think, and the cattails, and the inside of the cattails. Now this is a two-step stamp set. There is a filler. So you have an outline stamp set, which is what we're going to use today. We're going to color these with Stampin' Up markers. If you didn't want to color them, there's a filler image with the stamp set, which is here, that you could just color. You could stamp this in your ink and stamp it right on top of the image after you've stamped your frog, and it would fill the image, so you didn't have to color with the markers like we're doing today. All right, I'm going to use my Memento ink, and I'm going to ink up my frog. There's a mosquito. We have mosquitoes in Texas already. Yuck. I'm going to stamp my little froggy right here. Then I'm going to take my little duck, and I'm going to stamp my duck here. One more time, because we want two little ducks. Then I'm going to put this away. I'm going to grab my Granny Apple Green stamp ink pad and my Early Espresso. This one doesn't pop, because it's the wrong side. If you ever have trouble with your ink pads, opening them, pulling them open, you can push in the middle and then it'll pop open. On the opposite end, just push in the middle and it'll pop open. All right, so I'm taking my cattails, the stems from my cattails, and I'm going to stamp it twice because we need two cattails. Then I'm going to take the insides of my cattail, or the cattail pieces, the brown pieces of the cattails, and the artist has left space here so that you can line up those cattails in the center there and stamp them down just like that. All right. I'm going to empty these. Lots of parts to this. I am going to set this aside and let it dry. I want to make sure that this Memento ink has had time to absorb into the paper, into the cardstock, before I start to color. because sometimes if you don't let the ink absorb it dry all the way and absorb it to the cardstock, when you color with your Stampin' Blends, it can smudge the edges and you get those black edges inside your coloring, and we don't want that. So I'm going to take, now I'm going to die cut. We're going to die cut out the lily pad flowers and the lily pads, and then we're also going to die cut some of the cattails in just green, in granny apple green. Okay, so for the flowers, I'm going to grab, and I think I put that up. Let me grab that real quick. I grab a blending brush. I'm going to grab my Pretty in Pink ink pad. Open that up. I'm going to add just a little bit of color to this scrap piece of paper. And it doesn't have to be perfect because we're going to cut the flowers out. And you want it to look a little distressed, weathered, you know, like it's been, like they're growing in the sun. Then I'm going to grab my dark Pretty in Pink marker, and I'm going to just flick some spots onto this piece of cardstock. It's very subtle, but when you cut out your images, you'll be able to see it. Can you see that? The flecking on, yeah, you can see that. That looks good. All right, so I'm going to put this away. I'm going to grab the little cattails, and I'm going to grab my lilies here and my lily pad flowers. I'm going to put this right here. I'm going to cut out one. When you cut this image out, it will cut 2 at a time. All right, then I'm going to cut these, my little lily pads. And I'm going to need 6 of these. So that's 3, 4, and I'll have to cut out 2 more. And then we're just going to do our lily pad flowers right here. Hold please. I'm going to grab my little bowl to throw these in. See, it cuts out 2 cattails. And then your lily pads. And I have already pre-cut some, so there's some in here already. I just wanted you to see them cut out. I use this is one of the Cricut scrapers. I don't know what the official term for it is, but sometimes for me, my plates are so used up that they're rough, and my cutout, my die cuts get stuck. All right, and you have scraps left over for if you want to cut more. Now you would have to cut, I think, two more times for the lily pads, but I already have the flowers. I have those cut out already, and also the lily pads. You'll need several of those, so I already have those cut out to save time. Okay, now I want to take, I'm gonna grab this, I'm gonna turn my die cut over to the other side, and I'm going to adhere these Granny Apple Green cattails to the back side, just like so. All right, I'm gonna grab another bottle of my liquid glue because the one I'm using is empty. So I'm gonna open a new one. Okay, I'm going to just add a little bit, grab my tweezers so I don't get ink all over me. When you die cut your images, you can tell which side is the back side and which side is the front side. So make sure that you are adding glue to the front side of the cattail because it's going to be glued to the back side of the die cut window. Okay, so we want to add it right about there so that it peeks out. And then the other one, we're going to add just a bit of glue right here at the bottom. And we're going to glue it down right there. All right. I want this to poke through the front. So all right, I'm going to set this aside and let it dry. Right there. Now we're going to grab our markers, Stampin' Up markers, and I need pink, orange, peach pie, sorry, gray, peach pie, Granny Apple Green. I'm going to start with the dark Granny Apple Green. I'm going to just color the little frog here. I'm going to start with the dark Granny Apple Green and just give his little lily pad some dimension with the dark Granny Apple Green. Some shadow here. I give him a little bit of shadow on his belly there, right here under his chin, and right here at the top of his head, over here on his legs. All right, now I'm going to color his lily pad, color him in. Okay. Then I'm going to take my dark peach pie. I'm going to color the legs of our little duck. And I'm going to color the bill. Then I'm going to use the light pretty in pink, and I'm going to go over right in front of his feathers and just add a little bit right there. Then I'm going to use dark gray granite. Where the little markings are on our bird, I'm going to add some dark shadow on those little markings right there along his belly, on his tail feathers. Then I'm going to use the light, and I'm going to just blend it all in and color our little guy. Just like that. All right. And move the card out of the way. Then we're going to grab our cut-in machine again. All right. I need the little duck, which is here, and the frog. And our, oh, sorry, I need the solid cattail image, the solid cattail die, which is here. So I need this one. Okay, I'm going to use some Post-it note tape to tape this down. And I'm just going to put this right over the frog. Make sure that's lined up. I'm going to put some Post-it note over the top of that so it doesn't move. I'm going to grab another piece of Post-it note tape for a little duck. I'm going to cut the top one first for our little duck here. This is one of those cards that if you want to sit down and you want to do something relaxing while you're watching TV, it's a lot. This is not a quick and easy card for sure. But I love the set so much. I love playing with it. And it's so much fun. It's like putting a puzzle together, you know? My husband says they're like little pieces, little works of art, he says. Okay. There we go. That's where that goes, right there. All right. So we're going to take our top plate, add that to the top. Make sure they're on our plates so that they'll cut. Run this through. I'm going to grab my little bowl here so that I have some place to put these. And that's cut out our little cattails. Where did it go? I dropped it. No! Oh. There he is, right there on the floor. Okay. One little duck. And we'll cut out, and let me get the frog. Little frog. Super cute. So we're going to cut out our cattails again. One more cattail. right there, and one more little ducky. Hold that right there. My dog was at the door wanting to come in the room with me. Come on, Penny. Come on, come get in your bed, lay down. Another cattail. And another duck. There we go. Wait. Okay, you gonna lay right there? All right, good girl. Get her settled. Okay. So then you have a scrap, another scrap to finish. You'll have a scrap piece of paper like this for your, you'll have a scrap piece of white paper to do your stamping and cutting, embossing. Okay. No, you need to go lay down. Hold on, let me get her situated. All right, does anybody else have a bossy little pet? Come here, Penny. Look right here. Okay, sorry about that. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and we're going to put our, now that we have everything stamped, colored, cut out, we can assemble. Let's go ahead and stamp our happy birthday sentiment onto our piece of cardstock here. Pink, pretty and pink cardstock. And we're going to use the happy birthday stamp in basic gray. Open up that basic gray. Ink up your stamp. And then I want to make sure paper is straight and just stamp it right there. I'm doing it a little over to the left because I want to make sure that I have enough room on the right hand side when I put my bow. I also am going to use our ticket punch that we used last week, and I'm going to punch out the edges only because I just like the way it looks. It looks so finished. I'm using the scalloped edge for the punch, and I'm just going to punch out those edges. Okay. For a little extra interest. All right. So now that we have everything punched out, colored, cut, we're going to go ahead and assemble our card. So I've got my card base and my designer series paper. I'm going to grab my Stampin' Seal here. Oh. All right. We are going to put this onto our card base, just in the center like so. I'm going to add some Stampin' Dimensionals to this, a lot of Stampin' Dimensionals. So I've just about used up a whole sheet. So I'm going to add my Stampin' Dimensionals to this and make sure that you're adding them to the back side. I just scared myself there for a minute. You could also use foam strips, the little foam strips that Stampin' Up! Sells. We have those too. I'm going to add this one here to the corner, this here to the corner, add this one right there. Because you want this to pop up to look like a window. All right. I have several sheets I've almost used up, so I'm just going to go ahead and finish those. Okay. Now we're going to take our backings off, and I thought I had another little, there it is, it's up there. Okay. Found these cute little bowls at IKEA, and I keep them all over my desk. One to hold parts, one to hold Stampin' Dimensional ends. All right, so I'm going to take backings off of this. I think she finally went to go lay down. I have been rewatching. I turned on old episodes of Will and Grace the other day. That was one of my favorite shows. I loved it, but I guess it was from the 90s or something. I don't even remember when it was, but they it was before they even did the widescreen, you know, the HD, I guess, because it's in the little skinny box. All right, so we're going to put this on the front of the card base where our little duckies are poking through. Then I'm going to grab my 2 cattails that we cut out here. I'm going to layer those right here on the card front. I'm just going to add some glue to the bottom. We want these to poke out in the front. So you want your white from the die cut to show, and the granny apple green from the green die cuts that we did to show. All right, I'm going to put that right there. Lots of components. Then I'm going to grab and see, I kind of like the duck right here on the front instead of the frog. I don't know, we'll see. All right, so I'm going to grab my Take Your Pick tool because this works best for me. I'm going to put these 2 here. All right, add some glue. Scissors. Glue those down right there. Then I want single and a single, and we need our flowers. Okay, so I need a lily pad right there. I'm going to go ahead and add some glue to this. Grab the tweezers because that is what works for me. I don't like to get glue all over my fingers. Scoot that right there. Then I want another one. Right here. Because I'm going to add a flower to the top right there. Okay. And I need one more. Right there. Okay. I keep taking that off camera. Sorry, I'm just getting it on my tweezers to add the glue. Glue that down right there. All right. How's everybody doing? Oh, thank you, Rhonda. Thank you. I love this set too. Rhonda said, very cute card. I love this set. I do too. It's a little, there's lots of pieces, but it is definitely one of my favorites. Okay, I'm gonna grab, my fingers do not work on flat surfaces, so the take your pick tool with the little gummy end works. I love it. It works wonderful. All right, we're gonna add a little bit of glue. You could also use glue dots to put these down, but I chose not to. I'm gonna add my flower right there on that lily pad. Then we're gonna add, I'm gonna grab this again. Add some glue. Put this one right here. Whoops. Add that one there. And then I'm gonna add one where do I want to put it? Put it right there. Okay, perfect. So now I want to grab my little frog, and our two little ducks. Okay. I'm gonna grab some mini Stampin' Dimensionals, and I need another sleeve of those right here. I'm gonna add some mini dimensionals to the back of our frog. Just two. One at his head and one at his feet. Get those backings off of there. I'm going to put him right there. Then I'm going to add a dimensional to the back of one of the ducks. And I'm going to just glue one down, one little duck down. One little duck's going to go here. And then our other little duck, they're not positioned quite the same on the original card. This is the original card, but I'm okay with that, I think. We'll do this one right up here. Okay, Now I'm going to take my, should I pop the birthday up? I just glued it down here, but I think I'm going to use some dimensionals and just pop it up. I'm cutting the edges off of our Stampin' Dimensionals. Don't neglect your edges, use them. They are just consider them little extras. All right, I'm gonna put my happy birthday right there. And I'm gonna grab our Pretty in Pink ribbon and I'm gonna tie a bow with the ribbon. I love this ribbon. This is one of our in colors for 2024, 2025, Pretty in Pink. But I like this. I think it's so cute. You could even do this for a baby card, a baby shower. If you wanted, just change out the sentiment. Use a sentiment that you already have. Use it for a baby shower gift. Little boy, change out the ribbon, you know, for blue or whatever. It'll be perfect. All right. I'm going to cut the ends off here. Just like that. Tie that good and tight. Then I'm going to grab a glue dot for the back of our ribbon. And add our bow right there. I don't mind if the ends are frayed on my ribbon. I like it to look a little worn, you know. Now I'm going to use some of the shimmer dots, shimmer gems. Yes, 2004, 2026 shimmer gems. These are on our last chance list. So if you want them, go get you some. All right, I'm going to use some of the Pretty in Pink gems. I'm going to put one right there. Then I'm going to add one here, and I'm going to add another larger one right up here. Okay. Here we go. This is our card for today. This was our sample card. And then here is the inside. And if you would like the project sheet for this card, please sign up for my email newsletter list. I will send those out in the mail tomorrow. We are going to create on Thursday, for Thursday's class, we'll create these 3 additional cards using this stamp set, or this bundle, okay? So we'll create these additional cards, this cute little fun fold. Oh, I forgot I put a glue dot down there for photos. But we'll create this cute little fun fold card and these 2 additional cards on Thursday. So I'll be live on Thursday at 2 o'clock. Be sure to tune in for Thursday live, and I appreciate you guys being here so much. Thank y'all. If you, like I said, if I will fix the description of the video, I had a glitch earlier and I had to restart my video, and the software that I use won't let you go back to a previously scheduled broadcast. So you have to redo everything. So I'll put all the links in the description on my YouTube and my Facebook channel. You'll have the links to join my email list for my blog. My blog is stampedinink.com. Stampedinink.com. You will have you'll have links for that, links to shop if you want the kit to go for this week. Just place a $50 order in my online store and I will send you the class kit for free. You'll get all of the pre-cut cardstock and everything to create the 4 projects for this week. The only thing I don't send is pre-stamped images, so you will have to have this bundle if you want to create the cards exactly like mine. If you already have the bundle, great. Then you can use it or use something similar that you have in your stash, okay? Thanks again for being here, and I will see you on Thursday. Bye.